Clemens.
What's up, everyone?
Let me pull
Turn
up
off.
the 810 thingy. Miss Wintis, would you please share? You got all the groups. I'll do a couple shares too, just because I like upsetting people.
I need to calm myself down.
Cool water for it. Whereas
Oh
I
my
got to
gosh.
pipe up a little bit. I've been awake for 29 hours now.
I see that you got. Yep.
Oh,
Yep. Oh my god.
always have a few in the chamber, my man. All right. Share to group. Share to group.
Oh yeah. Let me
I'll
go ahead
just
and just
do,
get this out here again.
uncensored.
Of course, it's me. I'm the reason again that we're late. So no, let's not put that on Mickey or Trevor. That's all Mike. So you know what? I'll just start off.
Yeah, because I just wanted to hit that share.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start off. Like I'm a little bit upset, and I hate that. This is why I'm upset. I'm not sure how many people we got watching, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
We got 3.
3 people. Okay,
Yeah.
so I just left one of our schools. That's the reason why I'm late. Why we're late getting a start today.
Mm-hmm.
I was so turned off when I went and I saw a student. I saw multiple students with hoods on. It's not raining outside today. Pretty nice day.
Yeah,
not the
too much
sunniest.
sun.
Yeah,
you
but
don't want too much direct sun exposure neither. So,
right.
No reason.
So there's no reason. Actually, I can take my hat off too. We're in the building. I'll take my hat off.
All right.
I'm walking around the school and I see all these kids with hoods on, ski mask on. For one, it's 85 degrees outside. Why do we need hoods on? To me, that makes me think you're concealing something. Oh, speaking of concealing, look what I got.
You got it?
Yes, I did.
Congratulations, good sir.
Call me James Bond now. But but when I see somebody that's wearing a hoodie or a coat in the summertime, I'm thinking that you're trying to conceal something. For those of you that don't know what conceal means, that means to hide, not show, cover up. Okay.
Yep.
So I go and stop this kid, and I'm like, "Hey, hey, so are everything okay? You after somebody? You just rob a bank? Somebody after you? You trying to hide your identity? Why you got a ski mask on? Oh, somebody might be after me. Well, you're in school. Why you got a hood on? You're in school. It's not raining in here.
Nope.
It's not sunny in here.
Nope.
Matter of fact, there's no AC. So why are we even having a hoodie on? It's 85 degrees outside. What is going on?
That child's about to die from heat stroke.
But if the people are allowing him to do it, like
having
what does
rules and regulations means absolutely nothing if they're not enforced,
of
right?
course. So if we just pass policy that specifically named ski mask, I can deal with the sweatshirt. With the hood, why do you have a hood on? I can deal with the sweatshirt. All right, I might look at you funny because you're gonna be sweaty and you're gonna, but at the end of the day, there is no excuse to have a ski mask on.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. Like, I don't know. I come from a desert, so I'm very dress weather appropriate. When I see someone with a hoodie on in the summer, I'm like, all right, what's going on here? Sometimes my youngest will do it because she's too lazy to throw on an actual t-shirt, so she grabs the thinnest hoodies we have. Okay, I can understand that. Especially for young ladies. Young men, somewhat the same. I mean, you don't have a clean t-shirt, you don't want to go scrounge to look for one, you just throw on a thin hoodie. Okay, but when you throw on one that's meant for actual chill weather, I'm sitting here going, okay, if it's an adult, first thing my mind goes to usually is this person on something? Because I've seen folks dealing with a lot of addictions, and they'll get the chills. 100-degree weather, they're freezing. Throw that on. Second thing I go to is, all right, maybe this person might have something tucked away. That's not something, I'm going to avoid this human. I'm not looking for confrontation. In our schools, something that you preside over with your peers on the school board, I wholeheartedly agree with that decision you guys made. Like, this is for the safety of all of our students.
But not even just that. What does a ski mask represent? The ski mask in this day and age, I mean, nobody wears a ski mask when they're skiing.
No.
I ski. I don't wear a ski mask. I don't see people with the ski mask on. But a ski mask, when the first thing you think about a ski mask, is like the first thing I think about, I'm not gonna say you, the first thing I think about is bank robbery. I'm hanging out the window shooting my gun at somebody. I don't want, like,
I think sneaky snake mother bears from my time in the service. We wear baklavas at night.
Right. Okay. Right.
But you're not trying to sneak around in school neither.
Right. Right. And again,
actually,
what are we saying? What are we allowing our kids to do, to walk around with ski masks on? Like, and then if for one, it's a rule. In school, you have rules. When you're an adult, you got laws. If you don't grow up following the rules, when you grow up, when you get to be an adult, you're not going to abide by any laws.
No.
So we're creating a lawless system here, like a lawless
from the get-go.
Yeah, like we just went and voted on, created these policies that said no ski mask in the schools. They have no place in the schools.
I mean, there really isn't. I mean, unless a child has a skin condition where they can't be exposed to direct sunlight. But then there's a doctor's note that comes with this, right?
Of course, right.
Okay. No doctor's note. You need to take this off, young man, young lady, young human.
Like, we've already, like, and so I asked the lady from Teach Out. I said, have you seen any of these kids walking around, with these ski masks on? And she says, yeah. And I said, well, what's the practice? What do you guys do? Because I just stopped one and made him snatch it off. You know what I mean? Like, not true enough. When I left, he had it back on, which was cool because I probably would have done the same thing at 14 years old.
Yeah.
But
what's this old person know?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to be disrespectful to anybody. But why are we, like, what are we doing?
I mean, that's a practice that happens at schools, obviously, as you just saw. It's a practice that happens at home. I'm guilty of it. So longest time, the rule in my house was the children do not cuss. Then we laxed up and said the children do not cuss unless their room is clean. And then it just turned into habit, and now my kids cuss. My oldest is 18, my youngest is 17. It's not as big a deal now.
Right. Because when they get with their friends, they're going to talk like adults anyway.
Exactly. They still follow certain rules. So I brought my youngest up here to work with me on the studio, and she doesn't cuss in front of Mickey or Wintus or Mickey's, but yeah, she don't cuss in front of people. She don't cuss in front of grandma.
Yeah, no,
because grandma don't come over to our house. We go
Mm-hmm.
across the street to grandma's, and just because she's 17, just because she's grandma, doesn't mean you're not going to get taken across the knee.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. You don't do that with that generation. You're not going to.
So, like, there's still some boundaries that are enforced, but we've lessened it by far at my house with that barrier in particular. And it starts at home. It propagates throughout the schools when, rules are not enforced, because there's no consequences if I don't do what I'm told, right? And then, as you said, well, I grew up not giving a damn. I grew up doing what I want. And now there's these gentlemen with these nice shiny bracelets, and they're going to go take you away and give you a nice jumpsuit for a couple months, possibly years.
Yeah.
It's encouraging this.
Then the music that they listen to, is influencing this. You know what I mean? Like to me, and this is no shot to, it's only my people, man. And it's so annoying to see black people that look like me riding around with ski masks on. Well, I think they look like me. They got ski masks on. I don't know what they look like, but I hate to see that stuff, man. And it's like, what? Nobody wants to be the positive role model for the younger generation is following them. I want to be the realest N-word, and you'll argue with me with some, not me because I ain't with that, but they'll argue with each other about who's the realest N-word, or who's the hoodest N-word, or who's the whatever. And to me, it's just dumb.
I mean, I don't disagree with you.
It's just dumb. Like the stuff that some people hold that important is just dumb. Shooting up houses. I'm realer than you. Dumb. Yeah, now you
just had
jailer than me.
you just had an incident earlier, well, within the past week, right?
Yeah, with my buddy that got killed.
That and you had a Facebook post about
Yeah, I
a
did.
shooting.
Yep, I did.
I
I
mean,
was
so we've had. Actually, go ahead and explain both those for us.
um one of my I well the shooting happened after
Okay.
my buddy got hit by a car. I do have to say rest in peace, Spade, Jalen. He passed away. He didn't pass away. He was killed on Saturday night. He
Hmm.
was hit by a drunk driver. Um, and the messed up part about it is he had just left my car. He had just walked away from my car. I was standing there with some other friends having a conversation, and we heard the accident. Like we heard what it was. We didn't, when I ran over to give help, and I saw what I saw. I'm like, man, what? He just.
He was just here.
And the other incident, it was a drunk driver that hit him. She hit him and about 7 or 8 motorcycles,
I mean,
and kept going.
what do you think? So I realize mistakes happen, right? There are some people who have thought they were fine, get behind a wheel, they turned out to be drunk.
Hmm.
However, when you get that inebriated that you can smash over several bikes and then unfortunately a person, I mean tragically a person, and you're so trashed that did she stop?
No,
No.
she hit someone else at the corner, and then from what I gather, she kept going home, and someone followed her home, and that's how the police got her.
Yeah. So I mean,
Allegedly, I don't know that
I
to be
would
true.
like to know if she's been pulled over for this before, if this has been
She's
habitual.
17 and a half.
Oh Jesus Christ, man.
She had a fake ID from what I heard.
Jesus.
So she wasn't supposed to be drunk anyway.
No. But there's that lawlessness and rulelessness that happens in our kids, right? Like it's insane.
I saw, and I'm not going to say what corner store I was at. I saw a girl with a Swerve Creek cheerleading outfit on go and get, she didn't even know what size the bottles came in. She said, let me get a big bottle of that right there.
Didn't even know the name
Didn't even know the
or the
name.
type of liquor
It was
or
Patron.
wine.
It was like Patron. That what is that? Tequila.
Mhm.
But yeah, she couldn't say pint fifth. She said, "Let me get a big bottle of that right there," and they gave it to her.
Let me get that ID, please.
None of that.
None of it.
But you'll ID me when I go get a 6-pack of like, oh, this gray hair in my beard. You know what I mean? But it's like, that's like, to me, it's like, are you serious? I know you got a job to do, so I'm just gonna whip this ID out. But I'm really cussing you out in my head right now. Like, make up a date and put it on there.
Right.
But no, going back to the other incident, I was actually kind of down riding around thinking about my buddy.
Mm-hmm.
This was actually the very next day, and I just happened to ride past my uncle's house. My uncle lives in the DuPont. No, actually, it's more towards Chevrolet, Rankin, closer to Civic Park area, Civic Park Elementary School.
Okay.
And so I went there and I pulled up, and my uncle's next door neighbor and his friends, their Jeep club was out. So I saw about 9 Jeeps parked in his grass. So I pulled my Jeep up and I'm sitting with the old guys, right? And we're sitting there drinking Coronas and just talking about summertime stuff. I can't even remember what we were talking. They're talking about old people stuff, and I'm just listening, really. And all of a sudden, we hear doom, 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 and it was like, so that's what a switch sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah, you can 3D print one of those and put it into the back of most semi-automatic pistols for less than 50 cents. 3D print.
So I heard that, and today the crazy part about it is nobody got down. Nobody, nobody. It wouldn't have. We didn't have time for the,
Mhm.
It had to be, and I think I didn't. You can't count shots like that, but it had to be at least 50. There are two different guns. You know, oddly enough, today when I went to the county office to pick up my CPL that they mailed and I never got. But I saw one of my ex students,
Mhm.
and he was talking to me about this same incident. I didn't tell him that I heard about the incident. I didn't tell him I was right around the corner. He said that one of my ex students did that.
Sorry, man.
Notice I'm not naming names right now.
Of course
I'm
not.
not naming
You
anyone's
shouldn't.
name, and I'm not gonna, but just for these kids to
I'm,
be 18, 19 years old
I'm
with
sorry to
stuff
hear
like
that.
that,
Like,
with stuff like that.
you know, it is a problem, and it isn't just here in Flint either. This is far more wide-reaching.
Mm-hmm.
All we can really talk about and try to influence is Flint. Don't get me wrong, right?
Kids wear hoodies all day, don't profile them. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute, Winters. I don't agree with that at all. Wait a minute. The most famous hoodie person, what's the guy's name? Trayvon Martin. What's the guy that killed him? Zimmerman.
Zimmer. Yeah.
And what was his reason for following him and shooting him?
Um,
He had a hoodie on, right?
had a hoodie on, and didn't look like he belonged in this affluent and gated neighborhood.
Right. So it's not me that's profiling them. I just don't like the fact that we're breaking the rules and that and what is portraying. But society is gonna profile them. You know what I'm saying? And then at this, and I'm just saying this just because it's me. I don't care what color you are.
Mhm.
If you walking down the street with a hoodie on, you know what I'm saying? In the
90-degree
summertime,
weather.
in the summertime, I'm clutching too. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know that you are a kid.
Mhm.
You walking around in the middle of the night with a hoodie on at 90-degree weather in Florida. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't right for him. That didn't give him the right to kill him. But
No.
you can still protect yourself. You can still be wary. I mean, you can be. I don't know, man. What you got a hoodie on for?
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to be judgmental or anything like that, but I'm just being real. If you walking around my house with a hoodie on, a black hoodie on at 11, 12 o'clock at night,
Mhm.
I'm clutching too.
Mhm. I
I'm
mean,
clutching.
since you know, on my street, whenever my child goes out back to hang out, talk with her friends, do whatever, I'm right there with her. And
And you ain't naked.
no, no. Um, Plus, I've got a nice, really excitable pit bull.
But see,
No
yeah,
one,
see,
no one knows that she's friendly as can be. She's intimidating as hell.
same with
But I
mine.
mean, like, because my neighborhood's got a lot of foot traffic going to the
Mm-hmm.
bar and such,
Mm-hmm.
right? I don't know if someone's gonna come around my house, and they have. Two men were arrested in front of my house 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They pulled in behind my GMC Jimmy at the time. Just a little Blazer knockoff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they pulled in at an angle, and that's why the cops stopped. But when the cops stopped and shone that big ass searchlight, he saw a man in a hoodie creeping around, looking into my basement windows.
Yeah, see.
That's where my oldest daughter sleeps.
Mm-hmm. See.
When the cops arrested him, the other man took off. That was in the passenger. Well, they arrested him, so they had probable cause. They opened up the car door, and there was a loaded 45 right there.
Mm-hmm.
What were they planning on doing?
I don't know,
With
but if
my
you're gonna break in
daughters,
somebody's
with
house,
my
you gotta.
house. Yeah. It was a wake up call. And since that incident, like, the sun's down, dad's out. My kids are out, I'm out. I don't care what I'm doing. I could be in the middle of cooking dinner. I turn that burner off. I'm outside with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I'm not going to restrict them inside because these nights have been damn nice lately.
Yeah.
Except for the damn mosquitoes. I got attacked by one.
So I also wanted to get this out there because I know that there are some people that are in the community that are upset about some things that are going on within the school district.
Mhm.
So I'll just address that.
Is this board member Clack speaking about this, or is this
No, this
Mr.
is just concerned
Mike?
citizen
All right.
Michael Clack. No, this is board president Michael Clack that's speaking now.
All right.
Okay.
We always have to differentiate, right?
Yeah. So before now, that was just
Mhm.
no. When I went to Southwestern, that was anyway. Um, some things are about to happen within the district, and I don't think that everybody knows what was going on. I don't think that people think or people feel that the transparency is being fully practiced in this situation. And by the reaction that I just got when I went over to the school, the phone calls and text messages that I've received over the very recent past couple of days, I think that it's my responsibility to go ahead and speak on the move, the the transition, let me say, from of homes, students and staff over to Southwestern for the upcoming school year. And the reason being is there's a bunch of renovations that are about to happen over at homes. Now, matter of fact, I'll give a list.
I mean, you can't renovate with kids in class, right?
Right. Especially not with what what is going on. So the scope of work that is going to be done is the roof is going to be replaced, the replacement of all exterior doors and windows. They're going to secure the entry because at home, I'm not sure if everyone knows. There's an incident where one of the parents punched out one of the windows because something happened inside, and the security guards and police officer wouldn't let him in, so he punched the window out. There are the relocation of the main office, plumbing upgrades to all the bathroom and the kitchen areas, full building HVAC upgrades,
Oh, thank God.
full building fire protection.
There we go.
So full building electrical upgrades. So I know that all of this stuff is happened over at Doyle Ryder as well.
Mhm.
So the new building PA system
Okay.
definitely needed that. Full building lighting upgrades, full building ceiling replacement, painting of all the corridors and classrooms, and last but not least, the renovation of existing main office area. So a lot of those renovations and a lot of these projects you can't do, going
Yeah.
around and in between desks with students sitting in them.
I mean,
Or
no roof, and we're in the middle of rainy season. Okay. We're about to transition from rainy season into God, it's cold season.
mhm,
Wires being played with
mhm.
kids. And I don't care how old the child is, from kindergarten to 12th grade, you're going to have someone that wants to touch a live wire by
Of
accident.
course,
It just happens.
of
So
course.
let's just avoid all of that altogether and put them.
Potential litigation, potential, all of
Yeah.
that. But that's just the side that's getting done. Now there's another side. That's the side that's making people upset. So Holmes houses 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students over there.
Mhm.
The big thing is that the 6th grade students will be going over to Doyle Ryder for the school year. The 7th and 8th grade students are going to be going are going to be going. Yes, there's summer school now. Are going to be going over to Southwestern. 7th and 8th grade are going over to Southwestern.
Okay.
Now, this the
There's going to be
actual,
a separation between. So we're not going to have 7th graders interacting with seniors, right?
no. That's the
Or as
plan.
far as
That's the plan is
you
to
guys can
not,
plan.
but then again, this is supposed to start, if I'm not mistaken, Monday, sometime next week. I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
The renovations. Now, I think that because I've been getting a lot of calls from teachers and staff that they didn't know anything about this move. It just got sprung upon them. So I know on this past Thursday I received a robocall, even though I knew about it before.
Mhm.
This was, and again, because I know there's some people that don't that kind of don't that think that that this was a board decision, which it was not. This is not a board thing. It's not a board responsibility. This is an administrative thing. So this is all Mr. Jones and his team, the
Mhm.
principals. Whoever he
Tasked.
met with, that's who was involved with this. This was not a board decision making thing. You know what I mean? So, although I was aware of it, I don't really think, but then, well, I don't really think that it's as serious as some people think. And I'm not trying to be dismissive or disregard anybody's feelings or, thing like that. But, um, it's only for a year. And from some of the things that I heard from some of the teachers, I think that for one, the most thing is they want to be heard and appreciated. And if
I
you're
can
asking,
understand that.
of course, and if you're asking someone to come in and share your space, and you're not even, they're still upset about their pay,
Hmm.
they're still upset about the facilities, they're still
Hmm.
upset, like it's just it's kind of hard to see. For one, I'm an alumni at Southwestern. I went to Southwestern, and it was 7 through 12 when I was there. I think Winters was there, but it was 7 through 12 when she was there as well. Um, Hold on, what's that say?
Yeah.
A school because the district broke. Oh, well, I guess I could whip up my own phone. Nah,
True.
because the report said you all had to close the school because the district. What report said that we had to close the school? We got to close a bunch of schools. Yeah, we
But
gotta close a bunch of schools, but that's not because of the district being broke. That's just because it's the responsible really thing to do. Because one school has 96 kids in it. You know, that's not worth having paying consumers. Every month. You know what I mean?
yeah,
We can consolidate that school with another school, or we don't have 3,000 students in our district. You know what I mean? So we don't need all the schools that we have.
but
You know,
let's get back to um, people not being notified, and teachers and parents and students alike, right, of this move.
teachers, from what I gathered, got received an email this past Thursday. I received a robocall, so I'm on the whatever the parents get, I get as well.
Hmm.
So I'm assuming that their robocall went out on Thursday.
I mean, that does feel like rather short notice. However, allow me to be the jerk that I am and
Mhm.
say 100% that's not on the school board. That is an administrative thing. That is something that they should administrate.
Mhm.
And it goes back to what I said on Friday, but you're here, so I'm not trying to throw too much shade out
No,
there.
no. Hey, look, man,
But
it is what it is. Say what you got to say, like, because I'm a realist, bro.
I believe that with the lack of effort that we're seeing and the lack of progress and the lack of really kind of professionalism coming from the administrative side, that our superintendent isn't worth the paycheck right now. That maybe there should be a reduction in pay, or maybe he should be replaced. But that is my own opinion, and I'm not going to put that out there for anyone to say that is fact. That is just my opinion, but I don't believe it. 100 and what? 165,000 a year? That's a lot for someone who can't manage to let parents know ahead of time.
Well,
I That's just my opinion. This is just the latest in a string of. I'll be honest.
yeah, well, I'm looking at what Winter said. Yeah, we've got a working deficit, so it's not just like we have to close schools, but it's not like
It isn't like the bank froze the funds
yeah, you know what I mean. Like we still can
or
move
froze the
around.
account.
We
Yeah.
have multiple different funds and accounts, so to speak. So it's not like we're just we've got Esser and we've got different ways of having
Hmm.
money. So it's not that we're just but the monetarily responsible thing to do, or the responsible thing for the city or the district to do, would be to close and knock down some of these schools. Like I don't,
Get
and I'm
rid of the
not
properties
right, and
too.
so I'm not here to bash any board members, but there are certain board members that say things like it's our generational wealth, and like to
It's a
me
generational liability.
that's what it is. But to me, the generational wealth is investing in the kids, investing in what we got. What This is
Hmm.
why we're here. That's the generational wealth, for the next generation to be better
I
off
mean,
financially than we are.
that's a good point. And the second part is schools shouldn't really be looking at accumulating wealth. They should be looking at imparting knowledge.
Hmm.
That should be the first, main, and only concern,
Mhm.
in my opinion.
Mhm. Mhm.
These schools, what wealth are they generating? None.
They're costing.
Even if they were generating wealth, what is that wealth doing for the students? Because we don't see it coming in textbooks from this millennium.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, what when I called you 3 4 months ago, it might have been more recent. You said you just got done at the high school and they were still learning the same or from the same Spanish book that you did.
Hmm.
You thought of looking in the back of the book for your name.
I looked in the front.
Oh, the front,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, it doesn't make sense to think of these as generational wealth if they're not doing anything for our children. It makes sense to knock down the building and sell the land, or sell it as is and let someone turn it into something else, even if they turn it into a charter school. Why? Because then the school district is not paying money on it and then gets a little bit of money out of it to do something. That's my opinion. And, let's face it, I'm a layman. I'm not privy to every scrap piece of paper that comes across board members' desks. And the FOIA process for the district is a little difficult at the moment.
See, it shouldn't be though.
Yeah,
It shouldn't be like nothing should be difficult.
I know.
Like and I don't want to. I really don't want to just be. I don't want to bash my district. I don't want to bash. I'm not here for that. I'm here to speak the truth, and I'm here to be transparent.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I don't even want to say it, but as a board member, it's hard. When you see people that say, "Well, I ain't even been paid yet," I will tell you this: the state law says school boards, all of them, not just ours. Some people think that we get paid, and we don't get paid like that. We get $30 a meeting. Me being the president, I get $35 a meeting, not per hour, not per day. Every time we meet, we sign a form and we get paid for that day. $35 I get paid.
Wow.
That's it. It's
You
not
are rolling in it.
rolling in the dough.
Damn,
Rolling in the dough.
That's almost a
So-
quarter tank of gas today.
But at the end of the day, I haven't been paid for June. So when people say, when people bash the district and I'm trying to defend the district, and then I got my own issues that's going on, it's like, we haven't been paid yet. They like, why?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and again, please don't take this as me trying to bash. I'm just stating the truth.
It just means you guys have work to do, and you're at least acknowledging that instead of blowing smoke up our tailpipes. Right?
I'm not doing that, but yes, it's like,
I mean,
what are we doing?
A problem. You are going to work with your colleagues and try to work it out.
Yeah.
Understood. Appreciated that you at least acknowledge that there's a damn problem.
We just
Not everything's posies around here.
No, we don't have posies. We got dandelions.
Right.
And those little things that come up after you kill the dandelion that you can blow it and they go all. That's what we got.
Yeah.
That's what we got.
I mean, it'd be nice if we had seeds around here. They grow into something eventually.
Well, and here's the thing, man. I'm doing everything that I can in my power, and I believe that we as a district, we're starting to mesh. Not as the board, that's what I'm saying, not the district, the board.
Mhm.
I think that we're starting to mesh a little bit better. I think we're starting to, everything's still not, lollipops and smiles and things like that.
There's a lot less cutting off of whatever you guys are talking about to go into almost base insults.
Mhm.
A lot less of that now. And if nothing else, even if you guys absolutely hate each other, you're keeping it behind closed doors, which I appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate every last one of you for doing that. I want to watch your meetings. I want to see your meeting go from point A to point Z as fast as possible, see the work getting done, and then you guys call it a night, go home, get dinner. That's what I want. I'm pretty sure that's what y'all want.
We don't necessarily get the same views that we were getting to watch our meetings, because it's not the fireworks that they so-called used to be.
It's not city council,
right? It's definitely not. But even when I first got on the board, it was kind of pew, pew, it was kind of shots fired, a lot. But I think again, I think that we've had to learn how to work with each other, and just communicate a little bit better. But I don't know what to say about Teach Out, the security firm, company that we did not give them a year's extension. We gave them a 6 months extension. So whatever we're putting out we're in the implementing the RFP process. So looking for new security. Um, so
Anyone here that knows any good security companies,
yeah,
professional,
mm-hmm.
please let them know that the school district's looking. I mean, I would like to see security that the school district, the board, the administration, the kids, the teachers, everyone is comfortable and happy with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously strict and firm. Hey, take your hood off inside, please, young man, young lady, or going through bags as they're supposed to.
He said Blackwater. Isn't that the private
That's
army?
PMC,
Yeah,
yeah. Kevin, no.
but
Jesus.
yeah,
Next, he's going to say triple canopy, which you really don't want.
that's another private.
Yeah,
Army.
that's one that only hires former military that either have jump wings, Ranger tab, or Special Forces tab. There's some sneaky snake special guys.
Hmm.
I looked into joining them, and they're like, "You have jump wings? No, get the hell out of our office."
Yeah, but no, I'm so I figured like I had to get
But no, I mean
some
it's
things out.
appreciated.
I had to get some things out, and I'm not gonna mention who said it because I think we've resolved the issue. But that that I just want to point that out that a it, it was not a school board thing with this move. It was not. Even though I do support it, I maybe it could have gone a little smoother. Maybe it could have been a little bit more transparent. I don't. This first day of school's August something. It's now July. That was like July 5th or 6th that the robocall went out, that the email went out. Um,
Yeah,
it
today
might not
is the 12th.
right. So last Thursday. So
Yep.
it might not have been as enough as much time that most people would have considered, but it's still school hasn't started yet. So I hope you don't, but if you want to pull your kid, I heard some people say that they're going to pull their kids out of the schools because of this situation. Do you want the school to be run efficiently and with the best amenities that you could possibly have? Like, I don't really, it's like we're trying, like, do you
I
want
mean,
your kid to have a raggedy school or a nice school? We're trying to make the schools nice, but you gotta
here's
you
the
gotta work with
deal
us.
of possibly pulling your kids from these schools, right? And I've seen it said all over Facebook. Mind you, I haven't been on Facebook in a few days.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to avoid some of the drama. I keep getting hit with the depresso espresso, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen people say it that a lot of our scholars and academic minded children are being turned away from other districts in favor of our athletes.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So these other schools don't want your child unless they're a superstar, and then they're going to run them to the ground. They're going to break their knee and give our schools a chance. We are trying. I mean, the public is trying. We're getting behind our school board. Our school board is doing their best. Let's let them do. Let them improve it as they see, and it is getting better. We've got less of a clown show whenever the school board meets now. I don't sit there and play clown music in the background anymore and eat popcorn. I used to, I promise you.
mm-hmm.
I mean, but I'm going to ask, just please, my kids, one is now only college student. Otherwise, I'd be chucking her back in. And my youngest is about to graduate here in 6 months. God, I'm getting old. But
I got one that's already in college and one that's so I'm old. You know
I
what I
mean,
mean? So, but yeah, time don't stop.
yeah.
But
But
I just really felt like I had to kind of get that out there because we do have a school board meeting tonight. It's going to be at Southwestern.
mhm.
Um, I don't know how we've allowed our schools to get so far
I mean, I
nobody thought about that the schools need more than paint slapped on the walls.
I posited this theory several weeks ago, and it was when you were a student, it was the pinnacle. People were coming from out of country to check out Flint Public Schools, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering, or sorry, Flint Community Schools. I'm wondering if back then they made some choices for the short-term gains that ended up also being long-term deficits. I'm wondering if that was the tipping point, or if someone just decided to hang a left turn on a right hand, curving highway, right? And it's been decades like this, right?
Yeah.
It's going to take time.
It
You can't. Rome wasn't built overnight, right?
You're right, but you can tear it down and you know what I mean. Like so,
Yep.
that's the thing that's what I'm trying to keep it from getting torn down. Is what like yeah, you're right. It was not built in a day, but when it fell, it didn't take long. You know what I mean? So like I'm not gonna say too much here because we're still in the process of doing certain things.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll share when I can.
Oh yeah, and it's much appreciated when you do.
I just I don't know. I can't. We've allowed our schools to be so run down and our teachers to go without.
You went to
And
DTM the other day, right?
No, I didn't make it up there. Actually, I didn't make it. Yeah.
When was the last time you were there?
Honestly, it was a couple years ago when I was working a summer job for the food bank, and I was going around to that was one of my sites. So it's been a couple years. But I am gonna get over there though.
So let me orient my head right just for a second. That's going south. So looking north, that would be on the east wall back end. So southeast wall. When you're going up those ramps, Did you see the crack there? There's a nice big crack running up that wall. You're right. Our schools are falling apart. And I know it takes you guys a hell of a lot of effort just to find the money to patch it up.
Well, see, the good part is we still have ESSER until next September. That's why
ESSER can be used for renovations and
if there are children in the building. So that's why we're rushing to fix homes, and we're rushing to fix we had the money to fix Doyle Ryder, and we've got a list of other schools that are going to be renovated. But here's my thing: like we need to talk about. We've got a workshop coming up. We need to talk about what schools we're going to close, because it don't make sense in spending money in a school that we ain't going. That's not going to be ours, or we're going to knock it down, or we're going to sell it off to somebody.
I mean, right before the summer break started, there was talk of working over the summer to, I mean, there's already data gathered, and you're probably going to have to, go over it again to see if any statistics have changed, to see which schools can be closed, to consolidate the population, to cause the least amount of friction, the least amount of problems, so the schools can finally start working up on a functional, budget that's in the black instead of running in the red, bleeding red.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things that scares the hell out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Any government at all, when you pick up a budget and it just starts dripping red, terrifies me.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and you guys got to start cutting that. And I hope that's part of the workshops you guys are doing over the summer.
Yeah, one of them is we've got a workshop coming up here. I think it's next week or the week after, that they're going to talk about. We're going to talk about with one of our lawyers, or one of our, I don't know if they're lawyers or Plant Moran. They advise us in something. We got so many lawyers, but they're going to talk about how we can look at closing schools and the different statistics from schools and stuff like that. So it's coming, but we it's again, it's like, why now? We didn't just get to this point.
No,
we have been at this point years ago. Why is it just now that we start to recognize that we got to close all these?
I'll tell you the why now, because we've got a board that cares. Other people are just turning a blind eye. They're choosing to see the lollipops and posies and daisies, where you guys have turned and you found a barren fucking field. Sorry for my cussing.
No, yeah.
I mean, it's really hard to plant any sort of seed in that sort of environment. How are you going to learn? How are you going to, even just learn basic respect for your environment around you when the people in charge of taking care of it didn't respect it? There's a lot that goes into a school other than just a teacher, a blackboard, and a book.
Yeah, especially when you're in the. I got like I said, I just left a bunch of teachers, and they were saying like with their secretaries to come in, administrative assistants to come in making $12,000-15,000 more than them. You know what I mean? And it's like that's the one of the teachers I just spoke to said she made more money back in 1992 when she first came back to Flint, 1992, 93, 94. Those were her highest paid years, and that's the cost of living was so much different then. How
Just accounting for inflation,
right?
and then cost of living, and then holy shit.
Let's look at what happened 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
Gas was $1.25 that morning. That night it went to $4 or $5. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't go. It hasn't gone down since.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So in since 1993, 94, she gets her retirement statement or whatnot, and she was telling me, she was like, I made more money back in the 90s than I am now, and I've got 35 years of teaching under my belt. There ain't no way that should be happening.
No, not at all.
There ain't no way that somebody that can come in fresh out of college and be a secretary or and make 52 or 53,000. We've got this person, and that's, please don't take me for saying that secretaries are not important, because they are. If you want your school to run smoothly, you need a good secretary.
Yep.
If you are a teacher and you want your paycheck to be there on time, you need you to be friends with the secretary. Don't piss off the secretary.
I think I've said before, every role in a school is important.
Mm-hmm.
You need the teachers up front teaching the kids. You need the secretaries and the administrative staff behind them propping them up.
Mm-hmm.
You need the principal coordinating everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then you need the superintendent coordinating all of that, that entire ballet at once.
Yes, sir.
Is your mic on so the audience can hear? Okay.
Yeah, that's
Well, let's reiterate the question. How can they justify what they're making when we look at the results?
No, I will tell you this from a teacher's point of view, and one of the teachers just told me. There's so many standardized tests. They've got to take the NWEA. They've got to take the NSTEP. And these tests, one is state test, and one is MSTEP is Michigan's test, and the NWA is the national test or whatnot. One judges proficiency and one judges growth. You know what I mean? One of the complaints that we have from the teachers is, how can you evaluate me based on the results of these tests when they're given 3 times out of the year? NWA is given 3 times out of the year. Now you can see growth from the first test to the second test, but by the time you get to the third test, a lot of our kids are burned out, because they've taken this test 3 times, they've taken this other test 2 or 3 times. Then then you've got regular everyday schoolwork as well. So by the time you get to that third test, the test scores go down, and it's showing basically that the students' growth they're not growing. It's like from I think the first one was given in maybe September. From September to January, February, there's growth, but from February to May, it's like
it stagnates.
Right, because for one, they've been in school for 180 days. They're ready to go home. It's hot. They've taken this test so many times. The teachers are tired. The students are tired. Everyone's burnt out. So people start doing the abracadabra game on their Scantrons.
We actually have a term for that in the Army. It's called the terminal specialist, or terminal syndrome. When you're about to get out, you check out. These kids, they're about to get out for the summer.
Of course.
I don't give a damn about this thing.
Yeah, and the teachers do it too. Like, you can see the last 2 weeks of school, movies start getting watched. You know what I mean? Less work gets done.
Yep.
More movies get watched. Like with me, I was in elementary school this past year. More trips outside to the playground. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just like once you get, it's like once you get to the end of your workday, when 5 o'clock is coming. Oh yeah, but when 5 o'clock is coming, it's like, hey, I ain't doing nothing else. I'm about to, so
4:59, you're staring at that clock, right? Like, just tick, please.
But at 3:30, you like, I ain't doing nothing else, man. It's 5 o'clock right around the corner. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same with the kids in school and the teachers with school too. Like, everyone's burned out. Everyone's ready for summer. Everyone's tired of looking at everyone else. You know what I mean? And then when you got subpar facilities, no air conditioning, you know what I'm saying? Or it's like, you gotta expect what we're getting. You gotta expect, like, if we put, and this is my philosophy or my belief, not if we build a new school, if we get new, like, or if even if we don't, if we fix up Southwest, because they're over there right now fixing up the pipes, have there's sewage coming up. You know what I'm saying? Like
I mean, that
some of
might
this
just be
stuff
a
that
city problem because we
it
have
might
broken
be.
mains all over the place.
I got a better one for you. Why wouldn't it just be one high school? Because when I'm my understanding, when I have been here,
Mm-hmm.
it seems like every superintendent, and I'm not taking no shot, just from observation, what I was told, every superintendent, including Thompson, Miss Thompson, have been terrible. Because there should be one high school, maybe two middle schools, and maybe two element if it's enough. Because what we doing, look at the numbers of the kids. That's all I'm saying. Like, why is we steady playing games and like we gonna do a little surface cleaning over here, and a little surface cleaning over here? When really, if they really show the number of the students, you probably only need one high school,
Of course.
one middle school, and probably one elementary. Or maybe I'll go with two elementaries, two middle schools, but one high school.
Right, but here's my thing, because we all know that Flint ain't gonna be down forever. Like, they trying to get us out of here for something. You know what I mean? Like, they so eventually, and it's my belief, it might not be our lifetime. It might be our kids when they, but I believe that Flint's gonna come back. You know what I mean? And if I would like to see the Flint school sustained, even then. No, we don't want to have the, you know Mott community schools or the GISD schools, or like how Carmen Ainsworth is merged with Carmen and Ainsworth, or like we don't. I want it to be the Flint community schools and remain there, even when I'm dead and gone. You know what I mean? Like, even when you know what I mean. So I would. That's what I
I mean,
want.
it's a legacy.
So right. So and then so I'm trying to put even policy in place that will be around down the line. But if we sell off everything, and if we, knock down everything, what do we do in 75 years? When Flint actually might be back. I know that's not my issue, but it kind of is, because I still want it to be the Flint community schools.
So, like, the way my head works is when the schools come back, because we're gonna take this in a positive, which is
Hmm.
very rare for me. But when the schools come back, I think it would be better that there's funds for them, right? So obviously cut the burden now. And then down the road, when things are picking up again and the schools have become more proficient
Hmm.
and everything's been worked out, then that school board at that time can look at land, right? Because we're condensing more toward the center.
Right.
And then when we start expanding again, we don't want parents from the outskirts having to drive toward the center. That's a problem. They're going to be looking at charter schools just to reduce
Which is
time going.
which is
So
why we should
let's get a few
at
on the
least try to
outskirts.
put an elementary school on all four corners of the city. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But the biggest part about that is, okay, we just put all this money in Doyle Ryder, which is right in the center of the city. You know what I mean? So we still need maybe a Freeman on the south side,
Mhm.
a Brownell on the north side. Uh, I don't even know what's the east side has what, Potter, Potter, and the west side. Yeah, but no, that's the southwest. Yeah, so it would be Anderson or something, or Civic Park, or you know what I mean, or
And
Merle, or
that's another
Bunch.
mindset that you have to have, right? Elementary schools, you're going to need more of
Hmm.
because one, that's where everyone starts their kids out. They may go elsewhere later, private, charter, they may move. And then the second part of that is these are younger kids. Parents want to take these kids to school,
Hmm.
keep an eye on them. Middle school, it's like, all right, you can get on the bus.
DTM. How did we forget DTM? How did we just were talking about DTM? How did we forget DTM?
Because my head wasn't thinking of where I live on a map, to be honest with you.
How did we just forget DTM?
But But yeah, like when it comes to middle school, it's like, all right, little Jimmy, get on the damn bus. I will catch you after school. I'll make you dinner and a snack. I got things to go do. And then high school, it's for most kids, you can take care of yourself in the morning. You can take care of yourself in the afternoon. Love you. I'll see you at dinner.
Right.
You know, that's how I was raised. Elementary school, it was hand holding until third grade. Then it's all right, I'm dropping you off. And then high school, it's you're old enough, you can drive, go to school. I still had mom, coming in and throwing a lighter or something at me to wake me up because I was a heavy sleeper. Still am.
Yeah, no. I can't see the comments on my phone. What the shirt said? I disagree with FBS.
Being forced to downsize the school district.
It's not being. I don't really necessarily think it's being forced, Shard. I just think that it's the smart thing to do. We don't need all of these empty buildings. We're still paying, you know, consumers for for lights in some of these buildings. And
I don't know how it works because you are a government entity.
Mm-hmm.
Do you pay taxes on those? Just the land that it's on?
I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I don't think so.
Okay.
Or I don't think so.
There's a lot that goes into it. Or, these are empty schools with empty playgrounds. Kids go there and ouch. And now there's litigation.
No, I'm going to tell you this. I got a call just the other day from a parent that lives over by Anderson Elementary.
Mm-hmm.
And I stayed on the phone with her for an hour and a half, and she was complaining about, people dumping at Anderson, and the grass not getting cut over at Anderson like it's supposed to, and kids being on the roof, and
that's something that the school district just needs to get rid of, to someone that can properly take care of the property.
Mm-hmm.
If the building is run down enough, they may need to demolish it and put something else in its place. If someone, hell, we are in a place that doesn't have any actual decent food markets.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these plots of land are big enough. I mean, it doesn't have to be a Kroger or a Walmart. These are big enough for, like one of the neighborhood Walmarts, the old green ones that just had the groceries and produce. I think it was like a third the size, if not smaller, of a regular Walmart.
Okay.
Didn't have electronics, didn't have toys.
Okay.
You just go in, get your food, and that's all there is. And then you go.
I'm game for knocking, maybe not necessarily Anderson because it's still structurally okay from as far as I know. But some of these schools, and building a big garden. You know what I mean? Like, I got a green thumb. I like planting plants, but building a garden, just anything is better than a big old ugly knocked out. Like, I rode past Civic Park the other day. They've taken wood off the doors. They the doors wide open. Anderson's wide open. You can go right in. Mm-hmm. It's just, to me, and this is just me, we're the biggest slumlords in Flint. Behind the city with all these empty buildings up and down Saginaw Street and all these, bummed out houses and stuff. It's us. Our buildings are structurally bigger than, the houses. So, it's us. When you ride past a school, that's a school, or it was a school. Why does it look like that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
that's one of the things that struck me when I first moved my kids here. My father-in-law was driving me around town, introducing me to X, Y, and Z, showing me the town. I'm going, do kids still learning there? He goes, oh no, that's been shut down for years. Mm-hmm. The first thing that went through my head though is, are my kids about to go into that death trap?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I didn't know nothing about Flint at the time.
Mm-hmm.
This is 2016. All I knew was high crime, bad water. I have family here. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know nothing about the politics. I didn't know nothing about the school district. I know that my mother-in-law fought to have my kids go to DTM because it was closer to her house, and at the time, its grades were higher.
Shit, I gotta get ready to go. Pick my son up. But yeah, no, it's okay. Well, before you can have last word. Just let me say, I just want to say before, rest in peace to everybody, especially my buddy Spade. Rest in peace to everybody that lost their life this weekend, this past week. Period. To somebody's careless actions or to somebody's, stupid gun violence. So just y'all stay out the way, stay strong, stay dangerous, stay Flint.
I just gotta say thank you for bringing that to our to the attention of the public. I think a lot of people heard third hand, and you're the face of the schools. They expected it to come from you, and it wasn't something that was supposed to come from you. It still did, though. So I want to thank you for that.
Not a
You
problem,
stepped
man.
up.
Appreciate it. Not a
So
problem.
I think that's going to do us for today, ladies and gentlemen. Have a